Don't know how to sell? It doesn't have to be that hard. With conversion funnels, you'll create a working sales strategy in minutes. First, create an awesome-looking landing page. Then, convert your visitors to subscribers and leads. Nurture them and turn them into your raving fans. And finally, get them to buy from you. Just fill in the blanks. Conversion funnels will do the heavy lifting for you. Visit getresponse.com and try conversion funnels for free.
Understanding how portion control plays a big role into our daily lives. And obviously that, a lot of people, especially in India, have this issue of eating till we're really full and kind of stuffing ourselves and really going beyond the limiting levels of our stomach or limiting levels of our body. And I wanted to know, in terms of quantity, what would you say is the ideal portion or the ideal amount? Obviously it will be different for different people.
Absolutely, yeah.
And but there is a big thing about, keep your lunch as the heaviest meal, or keep your breakfast as some people believe that your breakfast should be your heavier meal. Some people believe your dinner should be light. So what are your take on that?
I mean, see, it's difficult to have a blanket rule for everybody in that sense, because we lead such different lives. Some of us need a heavy breakfast in the morning, then we don't need, a heavy dinner. But for some of us, dinner is the only time we get to spend time with the family, and then it's an elaborate meal. Right. So it's very difficult to say, okay, this is how we should do it. I mean, it's easy for us to say, but it's probably difficult to put into practice. But mindful eating is important when it comes to that sense, because basically what is mindful eating is that you're basically utilizing all of your senses and you're actually enjoying that food. And when you do that, you realize that automatically you don't need so much food. You're sort of satiated with smaller amounts of food because all of your senses have gone in eating that food, right? So basically, when you're talking about mindful eating practices, we're saying don't sit in front of the screen, don't be talking on your phone, don't eat at your work desk, right? I mean, that's because you're not focusing on the food and you're so distracted that you're not really enjoying the kind of food that you're taking in, and then you're not satisfied with the food because you don't realize whether you've eaten or not. And it's happened, I mean, I'm guilty of it as well. Sometimes you don't have time to eat, you eat on the go. You're eating in the cab, or you're eating at your work table. And that's not mindful eating because you're not focusing on the food. Right. But say, for example, and the best experiment to do is basically take a piece of chocolate, okay, especially for those who are chocolate lovers. And a lot of people say, I can't stop at one, square of chocolate, I need to have the entire bar. But if you take that piece of chocolate, place it on your tongue, actually savor that chocolate. Don't just gulp it down and bite it, but actually savor it. You'll realize that you just needed that one piece of chocolate. You don't need the entire bar, because you satisfied all of your senses and you've mindfully eaten that chocolate, that you realize that, okay, I'm done. I don't need so much. And that has to go with all of the food that we're eating. Sit at the table, making sure there are no distractions. You're focusing on that food, and you'll realize you don't need the kind of quantity that you thought you needed, because, and that's something that we can do starting today, rather than sitting at your work table. Make sure that you have a designated place in your house or in your office where you're eating food, making sure that you're concentrating only on that food, eating it, and you'll realize you get fuller much faster, you're satiated much faster, and you're more appreciative of that food. I think it's something all of us can do, and if you haven't done it before, try that, and you'll realize if you're talking about portion control and portion sizes, it will automatically come through with that, for sure.